What's up, guys? It's Ruka here.
Hey, and Steve here.
And Steve, hello.
Hello, it's been a while again.
Yeah.
Uh,
超久しぶり.
yep, and as you can see, I've grown the beard out again.
I mean, it
Uh,
doesn't look too bad.
yeah, it's actually funny thing before we actually start.
Hmm.
So when I was doing Zoom calls with my class, and we did our finals, and I grew out the beard, and one of my other classmates commented on it, and then he made a funny video, and then he titled the video "Steve has a nice beard." I don't like it's just funny things like that. Anyways,
Oh man, that's great. So yeah, we're going to be doing not exactly a news video, but kind of more of a casual discussion video. Where
mm-hmm.
basically we're trying to make this not really as like focused on like just putting out the news and stuff like that, like what we have been doing for the past couple of videos, but just more of like actually having a discussion about different topics and stuff like that relating to idols and such like that.
Yeah, this is more of less what I kind of wanted to do, get away from the news, because obviously those videos are long, and then obviously we don't obviously have all the news
Mhm.
at times.
And plus, with things that have been going on, it's also been kind of hard for us to keep up with all of the news that's going on because, for
Yeah.
one, there's not too much major stuff going on. And for second, in the case of like Steve and me, we've kind of been out of the loop with a lot of 48 group and 46 group
Oh
related
yeah.
stuff. And even Michael, too, he's still primarily focused on like Keakizaka and Hinatazaka too, but like mainly Keakizaka.
Mm.
So yeah, like we're still gonna like discuss some stuff that has happened because there has been some stuff that has been happening the past 1 or 2 weeks that we definitely do want to bring up.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to go ahead and start with something, Steve?
Uh, sure. So even though the COVID is still running rampant, things are now beginning to start to open up now in
Mm.
Japan. So people are or groups are now having stages again. They're now beginning to perform again, but obviously without an audience.
Mm.
Um, like today, one of the groups that I usually occasionally watched in Nagoya, although I missed it because I overslept, but another one of my group also performed in that stage. They actually uh, did it on showroom, the whole
Hmm.
entire stage.
Oh yeah.
So groups are now starting to get back to performing, and the BSJ project, I think they're starting to do stages again
Mm.
June 6th to the 10th, or somewhere around there, June 6th to like somewhere in the teens.
Mm.
I know that they're beginning to perform again.
Mm.
But yeah, but I guess a first thing that we can discuss, it does have to deal with I mean, both the discussion points that I kind of want to do are 48 group related anyways. And the first one has to deal with SKE because out of all the groups, I think me and Ruka like SKE the most. So we're most we talk
Yeah.
about SKE the most because we like SKE.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, so the thing that like I want to discuss is like what we think would happen in the next single. Obviously, like I don't think the single is gonna come out until maybe possibly September,
Hmm.
October, maybe.
Mm.
But to start off, like obviously we already know I would be appalled if they don't do this, but Jarina's graduation song is going to be on that single.
Mm.
That's a given.
Yeah.
Now, everything that like I'm thinking what could happen, it all depends on if Churi is going to participate in the next single.
Hmm.
The stuff that I kind of want to happen.
Right.
And with that, I'll start with for the main song, I think Jarina will be the center of the main song.
Hmm.
But I'm wondering if it like I said, depending on Churi, if they'll do a double center with Churi and Jarina, kind of have a
Oh.
send off for first gen members.
No, yeah, that would be awesome.
And then another thing that I would want to happen in the single is either because, like I said, Jirina's going to get her graduation song, but if they do like a Churi Jirina song, just the
Oh.
two of them,
Oh, that would
either
be
to send, either for the
so
main
cute.
single having a double center for Churi and Jirina, or just a coupling song with just both of those two. It's kind of something that like I would want to see, but like I said, it all depends on if Churi
Mm.
actually participates in the single or
Right,
not.
right.
And then I just would want another. I would want a Kenkyusei song.
Hmm.
Maybe not as the theater version, but just on the official uh, A to D or C, whatever.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the things that like I want to see. So what do you think about that?
No, I definitely agree with that because like we had talked about like it would be awesome to see like if Jurina and Churi did like a joint graduation concert together.
Mm.
So I think yeah, and because they are the respective first and second generation members. Of course, Trudy isn't the last to
Wait.
graduate. The last second gen
Oh,
member who's currently
right.
still in the group is Saito Makiko, who is the current captain of the group. But I
Yeah.
think because like Trudy has had a prominent part being in SKE for so long, it would make sense to have a send off for the both of them.
Yeah, I would really like that.
Mm.
And then talking about concerts, I know that this won't ever, it probably won't ever happen, but what if they actually do like a collaboration with like Nogi for like Shirashimai, having
Oh,
a grad for like basically the main 48, 46 groups, having their big members just having one big graduation
not gonna
concert.
lie, that sounds awesome.
Because I would like to see that. And especially now because apparently, I don't know if you guys ever did on the news on it, now that Nogizaka is kind of under Zest now. So SKE and Nogi have connections
No,
now,
yeah, right,
business
right.
wise.
They did have that business deal recently.
Oh, Keyholder, not Keyholder got
Mm.
Nogi. It wasn't
Right,
not Zest.
right.
So
No,
that
but
would be
yeah, I know
interesting.
what you mean too. I think that could be interesting if they decided to do that.
Mm. Um, then, if not for the other coupling songs, obviously I would personally want an Arayuki centered song, but that's probably not going to happen.
I mean, hey, you
So,
never know. You never know.
so what other coupling songs would you think could be? I mean, obviously, team songs would be probably
Mm, yeah,
the
team
thing most
songs.
obvious.
I'd also say unit songs because the group has been working with units. I know there's the OKB5, I think is what they're doing.
Yeah, I saw something about that.
I could imagine they probably get a coupling side, or for coming flavor, they've also been a pretty prominent up and coming unit since there's a lot of up and coming members in that unit.
Hmm.
So like that I could see.
But yeah, so just those are just some things that I want to happen for the next SKE single, and I'm looking
Hmm.
forward to it. But like it won't come out to probably September or October. That goes with the Kayaki single, I feel like as well.
Mm,
Like there's no way they're gonna release a single until then, I believe. And it's been
yeah.
almost 2 years. By that time it'll be almost 2 years, like year and like 8 months or something.
Wow. That's crazy to think about.
That is, yeah, that's insane.
Mm.
They'll be essentially not releasing a single as long as what Kage is coming back. Actually, we can talk about that, about Kage
Yes,
Kageyama coming
yes,
back.
because me and
So
Michael are both very happy about this.
see, I'm happy. I was because Kage was one of my favorite members when she was in Hiragana, so obviously it should be one of my favorite members in Hinata Saga. But the thing is, for me, it just feels like it's been so long with like my interest in Kage has just went down because she hasn't been there for like 2 years.
I mean, I
But
get what
obviously,
you
like,
mean, But I'm still incredibly happy to see her, and even though I have been out of the loop with a lot of 48, 46 stuff, I do want to try and get back into Hinatazaka.
Hmm.
I do kind of want to get back into like the Sakamichi series, but because like since Michael is still into Keyakizaka, he talks about a lot about it with me, and so I've kind of been trying to get back into it. I did watch not the most recent episode of Keyakite Kakenai. I know that they've been doing that from home. Like I saw a clip of it that the members
Really?
were filming from home. Yeah. The MCs were
Oh,
like they were still in the studio, but the members were all filming from home and they were all chatting with each other.
is that what Hina Ai's doing too?
I think so.
Oh,
And I know that Nogichu, they have been doing basically like I know that the members are releasing like DVD box sets of like compilations of like their best moments from the show. I don't know whether
hmm.
or not they're doing it from home either, just because I don't really watch Nogichu as much as Kayaki and Hinata's variety shows.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I haven't watched Nogi. I've never actually watched Nogi-Chu. I remember I made that my kind of New Year's resolution. I think it was 2 years ago.
I saw like a couple
I
of the
didn't.
really early episodes. Like I saw one where Rena was on it.
Oh wow! So that was a while.
Yeah, she was talking about
That was,
food manga.
of course. Mm.
No,
So
but yeah, that's
yeah.
something I would like to try and do because yeah, I am really happy to see that she is back. And plus I haven't gotten a chance to know the new Hinatazaka members yet. I know a couple about the new members from Keaki, but I don't know anything about the new girls who have come
Yeah.
into Hinatazaka.
Yeah. Same for me. I mean, granted, I think the new members of Hinata I think were more on Hina Ai than the new Kayaki members were on Kayaki Te,
Hmm.
if I remember correctly. But yeah, I don't practically know anything about the Hinatazaka members other than one like really like Sasaki Kumi.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like she looks up to Sasaki Kumi.
Oh, that's cute.
Uh, that's all I can remember. I don't even remember like their names. I just know that they're around the age of Hinano.
Hmm.
So yeah, and then
I guess
I guess.
oh, I
Oh,
can
go
bring
ahead.
this
Go ahead.
up because it is related to the Sakamichi groups actually. So because we have been trying to do some more updates on our WordPress account, me and Michael did a blog on there together where we basically did our top favorite. We did like a ranking of our favorite title tracks from the
Hmm.
respective Sakamichi groups.
Oh, I
I'll
didn't see that.
actually, yeah, I'll send it
I
to
did
you
not
so
see
you
that.
can look at it.
Okay.
So yeah, and I'll bring it up here as well so we can look at it here. So we did like for me it was my top 10 in Nogizaka and Michael it was his top 5 because he doesn't really listen to Nogizaka as much. For me
Okay.
it was I did top 5 for Kyakizaka songs and then Michael ranked all of them like, top 8 and all of that since there are 8 singles out. And then
Yeah.
for Hinatazaka, since they only have 4 singles out, we just ranked all of them in our personal preference.
Okay.
But yeah, I think because looking at like our lists and like for me remembering what the different title tracks were about, it really shows like our respective tastes in what we look for in idols.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm looking at them right now.
Mhm. Because like for me, this is basically for me in what I look for in idols is like basically how I see idols is I listen to their music to, be put in a good mood, basically.
Mm.
So like I do like a lot of happy and energetic songs. Of course I do love it when they do like cooler concepts or like darker concepts and stuff like that. Like I love a lot of Keakizaka's songs, especially the ones that are like on the darker. side of it, but I
Mm.
do really enjoy a lot of their more brighter concept songs.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, as you know, for me, like I'm more of a. I guess the way that I put it when I was talking to Takia P that I kind of figured out in the Chica idol scene is that my preference is for like alt punk songs. Like that's kind of the music that I like. And even going into the more kind of heavier songs, kind of like what Necronominal has done, and then just mentioning a couple groups that I guess I will mention in my whenever I do my Nagoya Chica project. The groups of Poison Rat and Jekyll and Hyde, like they're more on the more aggressive, kind of harder side.
Mm-hmm.
Like so I kind of realized that like I like that kind of music. And obviously I do like the cool when it comes to the 48, 46 groups, I did notice that like I like more of the cool songs. That's why I love Beginner, like I love Uza,
Yeah.
I love Escape, like all those kind of like coolish songs I love.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that's my taste in music.
Mm.
Mm.
No, yeah, and I definitely agree with that too because I love all of those songs too as well. But like
Mm.
even when we were talking about like SKE for example, I love SKE the most because they have such good energy with them throughout a lot of their songs. So like seeing that
Mm-hmm.
energy just puts me in a good mood whenever I watch them.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Mhm.
Hmm. So yeah, there's that. And then, do you want me to go on to my second kind of discussion that I wanted to do?
Sure.
So the second discussion is something that realized that is I'm always thinking like because the AKB songs now like I don't like as much as the classic AKB songs.
Mm.
More or less, the classic AK. I mean, people depending on the person, how you would this like say where the classic ends. To me, it kind of goes from single 1 to 28 stops with Uza. That's kind of where I stop the
Hmm.
classics, even though people might not see Uza as a classic song, but like the way that I see it, it stops with Uza. But then like I'm thinking like, what is AKB lacking? And then after coming back, I realize this what AKB is lacking in their songs, and that is fan engagement. Do you understand what I'm trying?
Ah. Ah.
Because
Mm.
in the cheat, it has to do with the calls and mixes. Because nowadays, when AKB releases songs, do you ever feel like mixes, or do you feel like mixes are included in the songs anymore? Because
Hmm.
I don't feel that. Like I could be wrong. Obviously, AKB has over 1,000 songs, but from the AKB songs that I hear, especially the more recent songs, I don't hear any mixes. The AKB songs do not incorporate any mixes
Oh.
anymore. In the classic days, obviously probably the most notable songs with mixes would be like Iwake maybe
Yeah.
very classic. Like back in those days where the fans would mix.
Yeah.
So you had fan engagement. Obviously the only probably exception. Then again, what single was Yonjunana? What did what single did that
Yonjunana?
come out? Yeah, Teammates. Did that come out on a single or was that just an album? Just straight to album?
Uh, you know what? I can't remember. Hold on. I'll look it up while you continue
Okay.
talking.
Because what I've noticed, this is also goes into the 46 group side as well. Obviously, I know there's some songs with exceptions, but for the most part, like they, the 48, 46 groups, they just do the very basic calls and mixes. So we're talking about the standard mix, the
Mm.
Japanese mix, the Ainu mix, and then like the two ren and the three ren. Like basically, those are like the only mixes besides the gacha koi, which is in Yonju Nana. Like other than that, like they don't do any other than like the Chico. the Chica idol groups
Hmm.
or the Chica mixes. Like I would love to see the 48, 46 groups incorporate the Chica mixes a lot more because then you get more fan engagement. And I think that is what one of the big factors that is missing from the 48, 46 groups now.
Hmm.
Because I don't feel like the need to mix or chant just in the recent songs. Like they're
Hmm.
not meant for mixing. And I think that's kind of a downside because it's just so fun to do it, especially when like you're at a live performance.
Yeah, yeah, I get what you
It's
mean.
so fun to just do the calls and mixes with everyone around you. You have a blast doing it, but I just don't feel that anymore.
Mhm.
So I think that's kind of what's missing. Like I would love to see, obviously, like I don't think they'll do this. If they did, if somehow AKB incorporated like the pond mix or the world chaos mix, what I like to call it. I'm not sure if that's the official name, but there's multiple versions of the world chaos mix. And
Mhm.
then I know that they probably won't ever do this one. They won't ever do the Kahen Sanren mix, which is kind of it's one of the more difficult mixes. But like,
Hmm.
I don't like. I would be astonished if they did these mixes, just what the Chica world does. And
Hmm.
that's something that they need to, I guess, learn more or less. Any your thoughts on this
No, I definitely
Ruka?
understand that. Obviously, I'm not super familiar with other groups like mixes, but
Mm-hmm.
like I totally get what you mean by saying like some of the more recent singles they have done, it doesn't feel like you can do mixes to them or like fan chants to them.
Yeah,
Like it's like putting like the most recent one to example, Shitsuden Arigato. That one doesn't feel like you can chant at all to it.
yeah. I mean, I only listened to that song one time, so
I mean,
uh,
same
and
though.
from that one time I listened to it, yeah, I don't see any
I'm
way that you
like,
can do any mixes.
it's
And then with sustainable, there is just the beginning part where I guess they could do, I guess the standard mix is what we call it, the Tiger
yeah,
Fire.
yeah.
Like, and that was only at the beginning of that song, that where I believe that you could do that mix. But anyway, and I'm not talking about, okay. So when I'm talking about calls and mixes, I'm not talking about member calls and response. Like, yeah, you always have those at the idol concerts. AKB 48, 46 groups always have the member calls. I'm not talking about those
Mhm.
kind of calls. I'm talking about the other kind of calls. Just
Yeah.
that you don't see those. Yeah, just when you think about classic AKB, when it comes to like the beginning of AKB, like I said, for me, the golden era was from the first single to not even the first single,
Hmm.
the indie singles to Uza, and well, mainly you can say probably up until um, Flying Get maybe
Hmm.
or Everyday Katsusha. Like after that, like there weren't really many songs that I feel like main song wise, because like I said, AKB has like thousands of songs now that
Yeah,
just
right.
where the mixes for them have kind of decreased
Mhm.
over time, and I think they need to start getting back into doing that.
Yeah. Especially because a lot of those mixes for like the classic singles, a lot of that was built by the fans themselves and fan culture. So I
Yeah,
think that really shows like how much especially fan culture has changed.
yeah, the like I say, the only things that the 48, 46 group does now, at least from what I've seen and heard, is just the very standard when it comes to the mixes, the standard mix, Japanese
Hmm.
mix, Ainu mix, and the Gacha Koi, which is their most advanced mix that I know of. I want more. I want more.
Mhm.
Especially when you see this in the Chica world, and they're just everywhere. Like tons of songs have these mixes and calls, and there's
Yeah.
just not, yeah. So
Mhm.
there's that. That's just a thing that I believe AKB. Oh, okay. There's another thing that I would wish AKB to do. Obviously, they can't do it now, especially when they're doing their OG things on YouTube.
Mhm.
But this goes with mainly the mainstream idols.
Mhm.
Just well, I know Bish doesn't do this. Like I know the whack groups don't do this, but I wish that they would stop doing lip syncing and have the members start to actually sing the songs. I know that
Mm.
all the members aren't good singers, as we talked about in the past. That's not like idols can be terrible at singing and dancing. Like it doesn't matter because from what I've seen, every performance that I've seen in the underground world or the Chico world, well, underground Chico, the same thing. Is that the members literally actually sing? I have not seen a single one where they're lip syncing. Like Bish doesn't do that. Bish actually sings their songs all the
Mm.
time, or the whack groups actually sing their songs all the time. It's just something that I've noticed with the 48, 46 groups where they're just lip syncing for, I would say, 98% of the time.
Mm.
Do
No,
you,
I get
do you
what
want,
you mean. Like, obviously, having like the singing talent is important, or like just the skill to like have enough breath support in order to project your voice. Obviously, being a good singer is important, but like also like having the energy to carry throughout the
mm,
performance. Like having live singing can definitely enhance a performance.
mm,
Like I don't follow too many chica idol groups, but there is one that I have seen a couple of performances for, and I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but they're a duo called uh, Namahamu to Yakyudon.
no, that they don't. I'm sorry.
Hmm. Okay, well, first off, they're hilarious. They both do a bunch of like comedy skits in between their
Okay.
shows, so they are absolutely hilarious.
Okay.
And kind of like you've been saying, they sing all of their songs live.
Mm,
And you can hear, first off, they are both really good singers. They have really good like breath support in order to project their voices when they're dancing and stuff like that. But like
mm,
you can feel through their voices the energy they have and how much fun that they're having. Especially
mm,
because the songs they're singing are really fun songs to listen to.
mm. And the way that I thought it was like, okay, maybe people could argue maybe like the 48, 46 groups have too many songs for the members to remember the lyrics. But
Mm.
then I was like, at the same time, like, they have a ton of members. And obviously, if you have like 16 members, like on a stage, and you can just divide those parts, so you don't really need to remember
Mm.
all the lyrics to a song. You just have to remember your part.
Right. And plus, it's
And that's
not
kind of
like you don't
go.
have to make every member remember every single song, because every
Yeah,
member might not be included in every song.
exactly. And that's why you see like even in the Chica scene, like when you have members of or groups of like 3 to, I mean, there's some Chica groups that actually have like more members that are like 12,
Mm.
like can go up to 12 and more, but they each like each of the members has like their own parts to their songs, so it's not like they have to remember the whole all the lyrics to the songs, so it makes it easier.
Mm.
So I just wish that they would go more to actually live singing instead of lip syncing, because you can tell it's lip syncing all the time now.
Mm.
Especially you can definitely tell it within the KPop lives, that the ones that
Mm.
I've seen, like you can easily tell.
Mhm.
Just just
No,
let the
yeah, I
girls
definitely get
sing.
what you mean there. Oh yeah,
So yeah.
also to wrap this up, I did find where 47の素敵な街へ was originally included. So it was a coupling song for Kokoro no Placard.
Okay, so the 36th singles,
Seventh.
36, 30.
Yeah, the
My bad.
one where it was the Mayu Center.
So
It
yeah, that
was
was
a coupling song on there, and then it was on their fourth original album.
okay. But yeah, like that song is with the Gotcha Koi. That's AKB's most complicated mix
Hmm.
that they do, at
And
least from what
again,
I've
going
heard.
back to what we said earlier, that was built by the fans. Like, the fans made that.
Mm, yeah. So like even like nowadays when I play games, um, just simple games, like I listen to idol music all the time, and it's usually the same songs, but like there's songs that like have mixes incorporated to them like all the time, like Oide Mase from Festival. Like most of these are like popular songs from other groups, like Oide Mase Gokuraku from Festive. Like that's popular. That's a hype song. Like Triangle Dreamer from Niji Kon, Heart Sunglass from Niji Mas. Like those songs, like I always listen to them because they always have the calls to them, and I always have a blast just doing calls at my house,
Hmm.
just listening. But yeah, they need even BSG Project has a ton of mixes even in their songs.
Hmm.
Like it's AKB, please do more mixes, or not AKB, 48, 46 groups. Please do more mixes to your songs.
Hmm.
So yeah, I guess that's the end of what I feel the 48, 46 groups are lacking nowadays. Is there anything that you feel that they're lacking
Hmm.
besides the points that I brought up?
Hmm. I mean, yeah, I definitely agree with a lot of you said. And when you were talking about how, like, a lot of the more recent stuff that, like, AKB, for example, has done has just been, like, standard idol stuff, I
Mm,
definitely agree with that. It feels like they have been, like, pretty much playing it safe, I guess is the best way to put it.
yeah, I guess that's a way to put it in a way.
And it can be like you can have like too much of either or. Like if you're like too experimental, or if you like, deviate too much from like, what normally what you sound like, it can be pretty jarring to listen to.
Mm,
But it's like also being like just like being the same, standard. We've heard this a bunch of times before. Like you're gonna lose fans like that too. I
mm,
think it would be nice to see them if they find a happy balance.
mm,
Like definitely like, like a lot of the classic songs, I can probably imagine they were definitely different from what idol music was like at that time.
mm,
Or like take for example Morning Musume, go to Hello Project. Their sound has constantly been changing because of, changing of like what idol music
mm,
sounds like, because of always changing like that.
mm. Yeah, I mean, Morning Musume has been created long before AKB. They started in like late 1990s, early 2000s.
1998, I believe.
Yeah, just so Morning Musume has changed the game, but obviously, I'm pretty sure they had calls during their songs because if I remember correctly, if I was watching a Onyanko Club, the AKB's like first group,
Hmm.
with that very famous classic song Seifuku o Nugi Sunaide. I believe
Hmm.
there's mixes. I believe there might be mixes in that. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
But like, yeah, just I just want more mixes.
Hmm. No, and I definitely agree with like all of the points that you brought up. Like I can totally see where you're coming from about like that fan engagement, that connection kind of feels like it's faded, basically.
I mean, obviously AKB still has like the handshakes and whatnot. Well, not now. but
I mean,
they're,
obviously
they're
not
doing
now,
virtual
but
they're doing virtual calls like right now from what I've heard. At least that's what MMB is doing or whatever.
mm,
Um, but like there's still that fan engagement. Like you can still get that engagement in the Chica world right
mm,
now because I know that Derek was having a thing with I think Mary Bad End where they did like a live Checky signing stream or whatever. I
mm.
remember that correctly. Yeah. So like even in the Chica world, there's still fan engagement, and although this is it's a separate thing that like I kind of want to say, but like yes, I know COVID has been bad, but actually there was something good that it did bring. Well, when it comes to the Chica side, more or less, because nobody has been going to shows or whatever. I've seen more Chica groups actually like open up like web pages for their merchandise and
Hmm.
whatnot. So it is actually now it's actually kind of more easier for international fans if you are fans of those groups to actually buy merchandise now. That is literally like the
Oh.
only good thing that this situation has brought forth is that now
Hmm.
merchandise is kind of more available for
Oh yeah, that's
international
awesome to hear that
people.
they're doing that.
At least that's something I've seen.
Hmm.
So now, is there anything that you want to discuss about any topics that you want to bring up?
Well, I guess there are a couple of news topics that I would like to bring up. Some happy news that has been going on the past couple of weeks. So, first off, we have two former idols actually having pregnancy announcements.
Ah,
So,
right.
first off, former Momoiro Clover member Hayami Akari is pregnant with her first child. I believe this was actually announced during a it was during like an online live stream where like the Momoiro Clover members were all talking to each other,
Mm-hmm.
and she announced it live on there.
Hmm. Okay.
So yeah,
Nice.
really happy news to hear about that. And also, former Betty's Kobo member, that's a HelloBot project group, Sugaya Risako is actually pregnant with her second child. She already has a daughter, and so her daughter is going to be a big sister soon.
Nice. 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 Nice.
Hmm. Betty's Kobo was one of those groups that I really enjoyed when I was getting into Hello Project. I really
Mm.
liked them.
Yeah, I've heard of
So,
the group before, so
hmm
I know that they were quite big back in the day. I guess.
oh yeah, like them and Cute too. Those two units especially,
Yeah.
aside from Morning Musume, those two were all the rage.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Let's see. Aside from that, of course, there has also been a lot of K-pop news going on as well. So we do have some updates on KCON. So obviously the event we talked about it already. It is going to be live streamed online for people to watch, but they announced the first and second lineup for the event. So out of the first lineup, I'm really happy about this. Both Luna and Eyes One were announced in the first lineup.
Mm.
They were there with a couple of other groups. Pentagon, that's a boy group. Monsta X, G Friend, which I have been getting more into. If you guys haven't checked it out already, I've done reactions to G Friend's music videos over on the second channel.
Mm.
And for the second lineup, pulling it up right here, a couple of groups. One Us, that's a boy group. Everglow, girl group. I listened to them a couple of times. They're really cool. Mamamoo as well. And Stray Kids, that's also a boy group. Several other groups listed on there, but those were like the main ones that I noticed.
Mm.
So yeah, really excited for that, especially Luna and Eyes One both appearing in this.
Mm.
They did have a post where like I saw a post where it was like asking like what is your dream set list for like a Luna performance in KCON or whatever, or like a
Mm.
dream collaboration or like a
Mm.
cover performance, because sometimes groups will do cover
Yeah.
performances. And this is something that I personally really would love to see because I love Luna and I love Eyes
Mm.
One. I would really love to see Luna and Eyes One covering each other's songs. So like basically I know you're not too familiar with either of the I know you probably know a couple of Eyes One, like their title tracks at least. I don't know how much you know about Luna.
Not much.
Right. But like Luna, I could imagine if they did like Fiesta or Violetta. And Eyes One, I think I could definitely see them doing either Butterfly or Hi Hi. Definitely Hi Hi I could see them do because it's a bright concept, it's a very energetic and fun song. So I could
Mm.
definitely see Eyes One doing that.
Okay.
So I think that would be a lot of fun.
Okay.
That's just me personally though. I don't know if they're actually going to do that. It's just like I would love to see that.
Yeah, I think that would be interesting.
Mhm. Yeah,
And
speaking
then,
of Luna, they have
yeah.
also been doing a bunch of stuff as well. They had their Japanese fan club, Orbit Japan, has officially opened, and they also opened a Japanese website.
Mhm.
So it shows like all of the information on the girls and like their profiles and such on there. It's actually really cool.
Mhm.
And still a bunch of stuff that they're doing, like the girls have still been posting like vlogs on their official YouTube channels. My personal favorite member, my bias Cherry, did a vlog, and Go On recently did a vlog,
Mhm.
which a lot of people are happy about that because Go On, she previously did like a mini vlog series called Go On TV, which was a
Mhm.
bunch of footage when her and another member, Olivia, they were filming in Europe, which was part of their promotions for their the XX or multiple album, which Butterfly was featured on.
Mhm.
So like it was basically a bunch of like vlog footage from there, the two of them spending time together, and it was a lot of fun to watch.
Mhm.
Other than that, they also did a V Live that they were basically sharing a bunch of snacks that they had bought stuff from like convenience stores and they were making like snacks and everything. And they were playing games. They were playing a game where Cherry, she was blindfolded and she had to like find the other members and tag them. It blindfolded tag basically.
Mhm.
And I haven't seen the full V Live yet, but I've seen clips of it and it's so hilarious to watch. Like, you have members like they can only move like, a step at a time trying to avoid Cherry from tagging
Yeah.
them. And so it led to a lot of funny moments. For me and personally, the funniest part is one member, Yojin, who is the youngest member and also the shortest member. She literally just went to one of the corners of the room and just stayed there the entire game. She was just huddled in the corner of the room, hiding behind like I don't know what it is. It's some sort of stand. I don't know if it's like a speaker stand,
Okay.
but she was hiding behind that in a corner of the room. It was their practice room where they like rehearse and everything. And she was just hiding there but in a little ball and she was the last to be caught.
That's funny.
That it is really funny.
Mhm.
Let's
Oh,
see. Other than that, I wouldn't say too much has been going on. We know that they're preparing for their next comeback.
okay.
We don't know when it's going to happen, but we know that they have been preparing for their next comeback. So, like, fans have been keeping an eye out on that.
Okay.
Hmm. And before we wrap up like the discussion on like the K-pop related stuff, there is something really quick that I wanted to bring up. It's I feel like it's just extremely important that I mention this.
Okay, go ahead.
So, you know what fan cams are?
Uh, I feel like I should. I feel like I
It's
should.
basically just videos, it's as the title suggests, it's like fans filming the
Oh yeah,
idols
yeah,
like,
yeah. Never mind. Yeah.
performing on stage and stuff like that. So, there have been some troll accounts basically that have been going around spreading fake fan cams where it starts off, normal, like, it's the idol like performing and dancing, but then it cuts to something really disturbing. Like
Okay.
it shows like gory, violent images.
Ew.
It's like it's horrible. I haven't come across any of the images, thank goodness. But like I've been hearing about this happening and I've been like wary on like going on social media. Like
Mm,
it's been happening mainly through TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. There is
mm,
a account on Instagram called FanCam Situation that has been putting out information on like, how to, what to avoid, like what to look out for and how to stay safe in order to avoid watching it because the
mm.
content that is being shown is like awful, traumatizing.
Okay.
Like especially for me because I'm jumpy as it is and I can't handle gore or anything.
Mm,
It's awful to think that like this is happening. So do highly recommend checking it out and I hope that everyone, especially those K-pop fans who do check out a lot of fan cams, please stay safe and watch out for those.
okay. Okay. Thank you.
Hmm.
Uh, then, if I may bring up a couple more things, if that's fine.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, I guess convention wise, apparently Sally Amaki from Nanabu no Nijini,
Hmm.
um, she's apparently been invited to attend. I think it was Crunchyroll Expo. That's
Oh.
happening sometime next month in July.
Hmm.
But it was kind of funny in her tweet. She's like, "I'm not sure if this is a good thing or if somebody just secretly wants pain on me or something like that." but, but it was kind of funny. So apparently she's been invited to that, and then also she made her own YouTube channel,
Hmm.
which is kind of funny because as we know, Sally's personality, um, her channel has been somewhat funny. Like when she was making some sort of coffee, but she didn't have like a blender or
Oh,
whatever, so she
is
had
it
to.
the Dalgona, the whipped coffee where it's like
Yes, yes, I think it was that one.
the whipped cream? Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't have like a blender, so she had to use her a whisk. I think is that what they call them, a whisk,
Yeah.
and she had to do that instead of using a blender. But like some of her videos have been funny, like her recent
No,
like French
yeah.
one, where she's like, "I speak French in this whole video," and it goes through the whole because the video is only like 2 minutes long, and she doesn't. She only says like one French word, and that's like at a minute 50, and the video's.
What's the one word?
I don't know. I don't know French. I forget, but it was one word. And the video sort of saying I speak French in the whole entire video. She doesn't do it until the very end in one word. Very, very nice troll, Sally.
Oh my gosh.
So there was that. Um, and then I guess it doesn't have to do with idols. So I guess I hope this is fun to bring up, but it does have to do with a certain incident that happened, very sad incident that happened. I'm not sure if you heard about this incident, but because I'm a Terrace House fan,
Oh no, I did
um,
actually hear about this. I know what you're
so
talking about.
yeah, Kimura Hana is speculated that she committed suicide because of excessive online bullying, and I know why this. I know what scene caused it. A lot of people know what scene caused it because that scene blew up. And and the thing is, like, people who are just now getting into this, wondering what happened, like, you would actually have to watch the events prior to that scene that took place to fully understand the whole situation that happened. Obviously, like, to me, like, I didn't condone what Hana did in the 38th episode because that's when the action happened. Like, I don't condone her actions, but obviously nobody wanted. I didn't go out, do hateful stuff on Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that. Like, I kept it all to myself with my not condoning of her actions. But, like, then again, you have to think, like, she's only 22. She's only a year younger than me, a year older than you, Ruka.
Yeah, I'm turning 22 this year, so I guess she is older than me.
But
That was what was crazy for me, is that like she was basically the same age as me, and you were explaining it earlier what was going on. I have no idea what exactly it was because I've never seen Terrace House.
like, I could, like, try to explain. Like, I'm terrible at explaining for one, and
Like
then I might
I just
take a
figured it
little
was
time
like just
to.
I just figured it was like just a bunch of cyberbullying that was getting to
Well,
her. I don't know
it,
what
it
went
was it
on,
was
but
cyberbullying, but there's a event that caused for the cyberbullying to happen within the show. Um, it kind of, I mean, it's easier for me to talk and explain it than type and explain when I was trying to do in the Discord
mm,
or whatever. But where was I trying to get this? Oh yeah, just thinking, like, it's kind of hard to believe that that one fatal mistake that she did, like I said, like, I don't condone what she did, just destroyed her life. And thinking that she had a whole entire life ahead to make better choices to better improve herself.
mm.
Like, she was only 22. We all make stupid choices when we're young. I'm still young, even though I
No,
still
yeah.
even though I'm kind of, like, older within, like, the Discord somewhat. And I fool around, and I'm one of my older, like, between my friends, like, I'm always one of the oldest now, except when I went to the idol shows, I was, like, the youngest there. But
Mm,
but still, like, I'm young. We've all do stupid stuff when we're young. We say stupid things. But
hmm.
just the fact that, like, she had a whole entire time to better herself, and it was just sad because even, like, in the newest episode, because now Terrace House has canceled the season, like, in the newest episode that she was in, she was talking about how she was going and trying to improve and changing herself. So I felt like that was kind of like she was going towards the right direction.
Hmm.
And then I found out in the Discord, actually, our Discord, the No AKB Live Discord, from an article that somebody linked that this happened. And I was like, and I was just shocked
Mm.
because I thought that she was going, improving herself. So do you want me to kind of try to explain what kind of happened and led to this?
Sure, just as best as you
Or
can.
okay, like I said, I'm sorry, my explanations are terrible.
It's okay.
So earlier in the season, there was this guy, Kai, but she liked another guy. He's a basketball player, Rio, but he kind of, like, ignoring Hana, and then Kai was actually there for her and actually, like, treating her right, and then she eventually started to like him, and they started to like each other.
Mhm.
But Kai, he was a comedian, but he's not that good. He's not that good as a comedian. I'm sorry, but the thing is that we've seen from, like, the whole entire time that he was in Terrace House that he was showing signs of, like, mental health issues, probably even dealing with depression and whatnot.
Mm.
Like, a lot of people could tell, but then when they were finally going to go on a date, like, they were planning to go on a date to an aquarium somewhere in, I think, Tokyo at first. But then one of the other guy house members, he wanted to bring another girl, and he made it a double date. So there was kind of like this pressure, and then Kai kind of didn't want to go on the double date because he didn't have a lot of money, and he's poor. So he's like, I don't want to do it. But the other guy, he's the CEO of a company, so he was like, hey, I'll just pay everything for you and whatnot, because he wanted to go on this date for not good reasons. I'll just say that. For not good reasons. So he eventually took up his offer. He shouldn't have done that, but he was manipulated into agreeing, I would say. And then the whole entire time, because this comedy isn't doing well, he was depressed the whole entire time on this double date or whatever. So wasn't really talking whatnot with Hana. And then he didn't pay for anything, like literally. He only paid for like, I think it was like a checky or something. It was like 200 yen or something. So the night that they were out in Kyoto, which is where this date took place, this double date, like he opened up to Hana about his kind of like mental health issue kind of thing. And then we see like in one of the later scenes that she was kind of like disgusted in him, like started to kind of hate him because the way that she was perceiving it is like he's kind of like a freeder, just like because he didn't pay for anything, and they didn't feel like he wasn't showing any gratitude, so she started to not like him for that. And then in the next episode, when they returned home, well, Hana returned home first. Apparently, was put her costume and stuff in the laundry, and then we later learned because Kai, this is the important thing. So Kai came home after Hana did, like a couple hours or whatever, and Hana did her laundry, and apparently, and we gotta think this guy's he's still in he's his mental health is not good at this point. So he apparently did his laundry with her laundry and destroyed her costume. She was part of the
No, I
women's.
didn't
I
know
forgot
about
what it's
that.
called
That
for the
she
women's
was a wrestler.
wrestling. But uh, so her costume got him with that, and she already. And this was like not even like a day or two after when. So, and then within that episode, we see that like another one, the third female member brought it up how like they were talking because essentially it's always the females that talk behind like the guys' backs and whatever. This is like kind of trash talking them, I guess. So she brought up like how the other girls felt like he was being stingy, not grateful because the other guy was paying literally he paid for everything, the Shinkansen ticket, the hotel fees, the whenever they went out to eat, whatever. So then he was upset that he heard it from not Hana himself, but from the other female member. And then later that night, he had a comedy gig, and he completely just like he forgot his lines and everything, and then he just always the way put it, like he forgot his lines and kind of just like gave up. So he was already depressed from those two things happening that day. And then that night is when Hana brought all the members of the house together and then just went off on him. So he's already like in an emotional state where with his mental health issues, it doesn't help. So the only thing that like he could say was sorry. Like he wouldn't say anything else. Like I can understand because no, I somewhat have mental health issues. I would say with depression and whatnot. So like I can understand him after completely destroying his comedy gig, and then after not having to hear it directly from her, from Hana himself, so she got mad at him, went off on him, talking about like how his character was terrible. It's something that's very big in the Japanese culture, like when you talk trash on somebody's character, that's very bad. And at the same time, when she was doing this, she was using very aggressive, informal language
Hmm.
with him. And then she eventually went and grabbed his head off and threw it and then left. And that is what sparked the cyberbullying from that moment. So I know my explanation is terrible. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
But that's essentially what led to her death. That one scene where she made, and the thing is, this whole entire time is that it was said before when she talked to another female member about her costume, like, yeah, it was my fault. But the whole entire time, it just sounded like, oh, it's only his fault. Like she was not really empathetic
Hmm.
with him. It's just his fault, his fault, his fault. Not really looking at yourself, saying how you're also to blame, truly, because it's partially her fault too for leaving her laundry in the laundry hamper in the washing machine.
Yeah.
So a lot of people got really angry with her because of the way, because this guy was just treating her the best that he could, but he also had mental health issues. And then she went and did that.
Hmm.
So people went off on her on social media, Twitter and Instagram mainly, I would assume. Because I don't know what other SNS the Japanese use other than those two.
Hmm.
So that is essentially what happened and led to her death.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, so like I'm sad. A lot of people are sad because I wasn't expecting that to happen. Like I said, I didn't condone her actions, what she did, but I didn't
Hmm.
want that to happen.
No, I definitely agree with that. Like she did, like you said earlier, she made a mistake. And she did say that she was going to, try to improve, try to be better, and then this happens.
Yeah,
It is
it's
really heartbreaking to think about. Even though I didn't know her at all before this happened, just the fact that that did happen, and again, she was the same age as me.
mm,
Just all of that put together. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
just so yeah. There's that. At least I felt like I needed to talk about that because I am a Terrace House fan,
hmm.
more or less. But yeah, so now the season is canceled. Like I said, I think before. So the season is just canceled entirely, and
Hmm.
we don't even know if Terrace House will continue now.
Hmm.
Just like we don't know if there will be another season. Who knows? Like I do hope that Terrace House still continues because I would want to see the show continue because it's an enjoyable show. And now, especially now that Terrace House is like one of the biggest shows for Netflix Japan in general, or just internationally.
Hmm. Hmm.
Is there anything else that you want to talk about?
Okay, well, I guess we can turn it over to a bit more positive news. So I actually
Yes.
forgot to bring this up, but uh there was a new teaser that was released for season 2 of Luna the Tam, which is
Mm.
basically it's kind of a side series which the first season of Luna the Tam, it had the girls, it was them at an amusement park. So it's basically like it was just showing the girls, spending time together at the amusement park. Like they went on a safari jungle tour. They like rode different rides and did different stuff like that. It was just fun to watch. And so this second one, they're basically going on a mystery trip. Like the members don't know where they're going or what they're doing. The staff is basically just taking them somewhere to do something. And so we do have a premiere date for when that is going to start, and that will be June the 10th, so very soon.
Mm.
And this is some news for actually another franchise that I follow, the Bang Dream franchise. So the newest band that has been formed within the franchise, Morphonica, released their first single, Daylight. So that is on streaming services. I actually bought the single on iTunes, so it is on my phone right now. I'll show it to the camera here. And I'll show it to you later, Steve, because you can't
Okay.
see me right now. But
Yeah.
basically, I don't know if I've told you about Bang Dream before, but it's basically a anime franchise, and it has to do with high school girl rock bands. So there are like all kinds of different rock
Mm.
bands. Like there's an idol rock band, for example, and then there's one that's more like classic J rock, and all sorts of
Mm.
different stuff. There's one that's a bit more EDM rock, and this one, the newest band, Marphonica, there's their band actually has a violinist in it. So it's like the rock mixed in with the classical violin. It's really cool. Like the single is really good, both the main single and the B-side on it. So
Okay.
anyone who's interested in that, check it out. Definitely.
And then I've noticed from at least because when I was trying to look up the name of this mix, the one of the more harder mixes, there is a video that there's actually a Bang Dream. Apparently, Bang Dream incorporates mixes in the songs apparently for fans if they want to do
Oh.
that. The song was Louder, called Louder.
Oh, Louder. That's a
That
Roselia song. Roselia is so cool.
like that song incorporates the Kahen Sanren mix, one of the harder
Cool.
mixes to do apparently.
I'll have to check that out. I'm not familiar with that mix, but I'll definitely check that out because I really do enjoy Louder.
It's one of the Kahen Sanren mix, one of my more favorite mixes because it's just really fun to do. Although it is really hard and I mess up all the time
Mm.
on it, it's still really fun to do.
Mhm.
And then also, I guess going towards my side, if you don't mind. So,
Mm.
uh, there's been a couple new videos on BSJ Project's official YouTube channel. They have actually a couple channels, but this is, I guess, their the more or less blogish type of channel. One of the newest Kenkyusei, I'm hoping I say her last name right, Nakama Aoi did uh, a video on describing one of the members, one of the other BSJ project members, and then Arisa had shown her has like a mini, has like a music video of her own original song that she just released
Mm.
um, on that. So if you want to, please check out BSJ channel. Is the beginnings is Koshiki, so that's the official.
Mm.
So there's that. Anything else?
Mm. I guess I'll bring up this is like one last news topic I'll bring up before we can start to wrap things up, but I've talked a little bit about on here before is the Girls Heroing franchise, which is basically a live action tokusatsu magical girl franchise. And so the newest installment for that franchise has been announced and will be airing. I don't know when it's going to start airing because the current one that's airing, Phantom Mirage, I think it's wrapping up. I still need to catch up on some of the latest ones because I haven't been following it as much. But the newest installment is called Police Warriors Love Patrina.
Okay.
So I actually have the Twitter post of confirming the announcement up on here. So we see like the main three girls wearing the outfits. So they're kind of like little police officer magical girls, which that in itself is cool. There aren't really that many police themed magical girl shows.
Mhm.
So that in itself is a unique concept. There was also a trailer that was released that shows a little bit on what the show is going to be about. And it's also caught a lot of attention because one of the main girls, the one in purple, Sarai, she actually was in the currently airing show, Phantom Mirage. She was a prominent character in that season. So a lot of people are theorizing that she's basically going to be the link between these two installments, especially since it's already confirmed that the current team is going to be making a cameo appearance in this new installment. So yeah, I actually am really looking forward to that just because it does look very cute.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'd say that wraps it up for that. Once
Yeah.
again, I will mention I have been doing quite a few reaction videos on our second channel for both G-Friend and also Oh My Girl, so if you haven't checked those out already, definitely do so. I am planning on doing reactions to both of the group's Japanese releases because they do have Japanese releases as well, so I plan on doing that very soon. And is there anything else you would like to bring up, Steve?
Mm, yeah, I guess fine. So I should be doing starting the videos. I should be starting the videos for my Nagoya Chica project soon. I just need to get. See, I'm just happy we're doing this video because this is making me wanting to do videos more now, like
Hmm.
because I need to do it. So I don't know when, but I should be recording videos for that. At least the first video just being the introduction of. See, the way that I'm gonna format the first video would be my. I think I mentioned it in the previous video I was in, where like I'm just gonna do like my, well, technically my top 6, 7, or just X amount of groups. I don't know that I will be doing separate videos on, like the groups that I mentioned in the video. I'll do separate videos on them, explaining them in more depth. Obviously, like I won't be showing. I'll be linking videos so you can see their either concerts or not concerts, their performances, or just somewhere where you can listen to the song. Obviously, because I don't want copyright things.
Right.
So it'd be easy just to show you like what these groups are like, just in general. So I hope you can like them. And then for I guess a final thing is just the wrap up. Please, please tell us your opinions on what you think about what we think about the SKE single, but what we would like if
Mm.
having a Jirina Churi either center song or coupling song, if you would like that. And then please, I would love to hear your opinions on if you agree with me and Ruka on what the 48, 46 groups are lacking with calls and mixes, and also the girls actually needing to start singing. Like, singing isn't everything. You don't need to be a good singer. It doesn't matter. Just
Mm.
please, I want to know your opinions on that. If you agree with us, and if you have your own things that you think the 48, 46 group could improve on that we didn't mention in the video, because I would love to hear. I would love to hear that.
Mhm. All right then. Well, if you liked this video, be sure to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and we'll see you guys in the next video whenever we make it. So until
Yep.
then, bye bye.
Bye bye.